it's Mina, and today in this video I'm going to do my top 10 movies that are made into fairy tales that are made into movies. Sorry, there was a little tongue twister. Anyway, these are fairy tales that I personally enjoy that make such great movies. And one of these, actually two of these, I do have a movie review up for, and if you want to see those two movie reviews, I will say which ones they are, and I will link them both down below. Well, actually, one of them I have two reviews up for. By the way, and the rest of them I do not have a review up for, but if you guys want a review, please give this video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below which movie you'd like me to review. So I'm going to get started. So, number one on my list would have to be Beauty and the Beast. The reason I love Beauty and the Beast is because this movie talks about like taking your time to fall in love. And to be honest, I sort of think this is pretty much kind of the first smart Disney princess film for kids, even though you're probably going to disagree with me because you're probably going to think The Little Mermaid is the first smart Disney princess film. Well, I do think it is a pretty smart Disney princess film, but I think that this one is a pretty smart Disney princess, probably the first one, for my opinion. This is the first one I ever saw. Well, I don't think it's the first one I ever saw. Anyway, so this basically, the reason I think it's this smart one because it shows characters taking their time to fall in love. And what I like is it's not about personality, it's just more, it's not about appearance, it's more about personality. I'm sorry, I'm just so exhausted I can't talk today. And if you guys are interested in my two reviews of Beauty and the Beast, I will link them both down below. Number two on my list would have to be The Little Mermaid. The reason I like The Little Mermaid is because it shows, don't fall asleep yet, Mina, you gotta make this video. So the reason I like The Little Mermaid because it shows a determined, headstrong, ambitious mermaid who is determined to get what she wants, and even though she makes a mistake, she learns from her mistake and gets her wish, which I really like. I like in The Little Mermaid how Ariel is brave and smart, and it's a pretty sweet how she'll do anything to help anybody, and she loves to take care of her friends and stuff, especially Flounder. And if you guys are interested in my review of The Little Mermaid, I'll link it down below. Number three on my list would have to be Sleeping Beauty. And I apologize for yawning so much. I don't even know why, but I'm a little bit tired. I think maybe it's because I worked out playing basketball all day at the gym. Anyway, number three on my list is Sleeping Beauty. The reason I love Sleeping Beauty is because it shows like a princess who's pretty, and she has like big dreams of like a prince falling in love with her and meeting him, and they fall in love at first sight, even though that's one of my biggest pet peeves. And also it has such great songs in it. Number four on my list would have to be Cinderella live action. The reason I love Cinderella live action is because it shows the original story of Cinderella and how they first fell in love. At first sight, no, not at first sight. How she meets the prince ahead of time before the ball, and then later during the ball they fall in love, which is, I think, a lot smarter for kids instead of the animated version, even though I do love the animated version. Number five on my list would have to be Peter Pan. The reason I like Peter Pan because it shows a boy who never grows up and some kids who never want to grow up, but later on they learn a lesson about wanting to grow up and missing their families and stuff, and they learn they can't stay a kid forever. And I know that's true, that you can't stay a kid forever. We all have to grow up at some time. Number six on my list would have to be Alice in Wonderland live action. Now, a lot of you guys know, if you watch my top 10 I think it's top 10 weakest or least favorite, I don't know. Top 10 weakest. I have no idea which one it is, but you know that I dislike the animated version of Alice in Wonderland. That probably reminds me I should probably do a top 10 least favorite Disney movies video. Well, because I dislike the animated version, but I do like the live action version. The reason I like the live action version of Alice in Wonderland because it shows Alice like at 19 and how she goes back to her And so it's kind of a live-action version sequel of the animated version. So she goes back to her Wonderland that she created when she was, like, I think 12 or something years later. And she has to help work together with, like, all the people from her world in order to save it, which is really cool. It's a little bit violent, but I think it's pretty cool how they redid it. Number 7 on my list would have to be The Hunchback of Notre Dame. The reason I like The Hunchback of Notre Dame... Sorry for yawning so much. The reason I like The Hunchback of Notre Dame because it shows, even though it's like one of the darker Disney movies, I love this movie because it's got a good story. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Beauty and the Beast. Kind of, because you got a hunchback with the ugly face, and people make fun of him because his ugly face, except for like one character, which is Esmeralda the gypsy, because she sees his kind, compassionate heart, unlike all the other people who find him disgusting. But she can really see that he has a sweet heart, sweet, compassionate heart. So that's what I love about The Hunchback of Notre Dame, is it kind of reminds me a little bit of Beauty and the Beast, because you got someone who's beautiful and someone with an ugly appearance, but the beautiful person sees the kind heart in the ugly person. That's what I really like. Number 8 would have to be on my list would have to be the animated version of Pinocchio. The reason I love the animated version of Pinocchio is because it's adorable. You got like a little wooden puppet, and he's singing and dancing, and he's curious about everything, and he's learning like what's good and what's bad, and like smoking's bad for boys, and drinking's bad for boys, and he also learns how to be a good boy, and even though he is a bad boy throughout most of the film, because he like gets in trouble, skips school, and drinks and smokes, he redeems himself by saving the one he loves, like his father, from a whale. And then he gets rewarded with his wish, which I really like. Number 9 on my list would have to be Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Even though Snow White is my least favorite princess, I still pretty much love this movie because I love the beautiful animation, I love all the characters, I love the cute little animals in the movie, I love all the dwarves, I love the story. My only couple problems with that movie is Snow White's voice, because it reminds me of me when I was 5, which is kind of embarrassing. And also, the falling in love right away. Yeah, a lot of you guys know, if you watch my channel, you know that my most biggest pet peeves with Disney is the couples that fall in love right away. And by the way, I will be reviewing Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I've been meaning to do this since I started YouTube for Walt Disney's birthday, but I don't know why, but some weird reason I keep forgetting to do this. So note to self from me, if you guys want, thumbs up this video up too if you want to review on Snow White in honor of Walt Disney, because this was the first full-length animated feature that he ever made in color. So yeah, give it a thumbs up, but I will, and even if no thumbs up, I'll still review it anyway. Number 10 on my list would have to be Hoodwinked. The reason I love Hoodwinked is because this is a funny movie. It's like a weird version of Little Red Riding Hood, and it's like a funny version of Little Red Riding Hood. This is one of my favorites because it cracks me up. My mom loves Hoodwinked as well. And you got like all the characters working together, like the weird I think he's like the German, I think he's a wood chopper or something. He has like an axe in his hand, and he wears like the weird overall thingies from Switzerland. I'm not too sure what they are. And you got the grandma, who's like more athletic, and then you got Red Riding Hood, who is like good at karate, and you got like the wolf and the squirrel, who are both reporters. It is a funny movie. And if you guys want to review, again, thumbs up this video. So those are my top 10 movies that are made into fairy tales. I hope you guys liked the video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any requests, please leave them in the comments below. And I'll see you in another video soon. Goodbye.